All right, hey everybody. It's Charlie. Welcome to the WTCR podcast. Well, apparently, or just blog, I guess. I refer to it as a podcast, but hopefully, this is something that can help you out during your week. So, a couple of quick updates if you've been following along. So, my weight has been around 202 pounds for the week. So, at this point, I've just kind of stabilized at 200. I was able to get to my 199, or basically to a first digit as a one, and I was really, really excited about that. Um, I've had some other issues and struggles for the last couple of weeks, and then just kind of working my way through those things. And sometimes self-soothing could be eating, and that's actually one of the things for me that like my hunger levels start to go way up. I feel much more lethargic. It's almost like constantly kind of being sick. But I feel decent. Maybe I'm a little bit sick this week, but like I've been kind of feeling down for the last several weeks, and it's not because of like illness. I'm just beat up mentally. So I wanted to go ahead and talk about this week's intention and we covered this probably a few months ago, is life is as good as you make it, or your life is as good as your mindset, like any of those kind of thought processes. So if I go ahead and start to focus on a bunch of like negative things that are happening in my life, that's probably the only thing that I'm going to see. I don't want to go ahead and end up being very myopic into those things. I want to be able to maintain an open mind and be able to learn and continue to grow and become a better person without like really setting myself back on some of those other things. So it's just been really, really difficult for myself. I will say that it's been really fun. That I still have not had a drink this year, which is super, super important to me, which I'm really excited about. I've gotten to the point where I don't even have the desire to drink anymore, which is even better. I went to a party on Saturday and then I went to a brunch on Sunday. Did not consume one drop of alcohol, which is, again, wonderful for me because that's not how I normally live my life. So it was really, really cool. But with those extra stresses and then extra parties and other fun stuff to be social, I realized that some of my eating practices have kind of gotten out of line a little bit. You might even notice a little bit this year, but I think it's just because I'm tucking my chin down to talk to the screen. And if I went ahead and actually like sat upright, it wouldn't look so bad. So I really don't care. I'm just kind of tucking my chin and sitting comfortably. I don't really care. So I think it's really important to understand your mindset to some of these things. If I only focus in on the negative pieces of my life, I'm probably going to only see the negative pieces of my life. For a very long time, it's like if you looking for a yellow bug, you're going to see yellow bugs, right? If you look for these things, you're going to see them, and then it's just going to validate a lot of your thought processes. And I think we can even use that in some of our climate now, right? And how the world has been working, how some groups and whatnot can be very, very hard-headed. So their life can be as good as they can make it, as good as their mindset. So if they're constantly looking for reasons to be negative, congrats. They're probably going to be right. And they're probably going to be really, really negative about all this stuff. So I think it's important to go ahead and try to maintain some kind of views on positive. That's why I still go ahead and say, what's your good news for the week, or what's the next big thing you're excited about? I love asking that question, and I'm genuine when I go ahead and hear it from other people because like I don't know their lives, and it's kind of cool when they get and they see this like little bit of like glimmer, and then yeah, this thing is, and they get genuinely excited about life. And I think it's important to like introduce people and reintroduce people to those kinds of thoughts because if I go, hey, what's going on? Nothing, man. Everything sucks. And they're like, yeah, you're right. Everything sucks. And then you end up down this like rabbit hole of just feeling nonsensical, and it's everything is terrible all the time. So you just constantly feel sad. So then you go and interact with people with this sad mood, and then those feelings become somebody else's, and then that cycle just continues onward. So I think it's really important. So again, give yourself some opportunities to say you forgive yourself when you make some of these bigger mistakes in life. It's really important to go ahead and make sure that you're staying positive to some of the things that you have control over, right? So there's some things I don't have control over in my life, um, and there's some things that I do. So when I take my time and really think through what's important to me and how I wish to behave, I have a ton of control on that one. I have a ton of control on how I react to things. So for a quick example, I won't give the details because there could be other stuff that's coming up. Um, I was accused of microaggressions, which I was really caught off guard because the person in the conversation, within like three sentences, said two very contradicting things where they can't both be true at the same time. And I scoffed and I was like, you're bullshit, right? There's no possible way you're talking out of both sides of your mouth. And I scoffed, like, is that a microaggression? And what I really wanted to say in the moment is, you're a fucking liar, right? That's what I wanted to say, but instead I just went, I have no comment. Why? I have no comment. And I just left it at that, because you don't necessarily have to respond to these things. Because in a moment like that, that person was actively trying to get a rise out of me. They were actively doing it for nefarious reasons, if anything. Again, that's speculation at this point. I don't know how other people think, so I apologize for that. But from my perspective, my position within the conversation, where they were really trying to go ahead and get a rise out of me, and if I wasn't using that intention this week, where I was actively thinking about like how my mind is processing things, I might have behaved differently, or I might have behaved differently when I eventually returned home, or I might have, picked up the bottle again, or all these other things could kind of come up. So not everybody's going to know like the struggles that you're going through in your day to day. A lot of people don't care about your problems either. But I think it's important that you give some time for yourself, really think things through. Always just do the best that you can. And on that note, good luck.